Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to take a look at how you can use the nearest airport feature, a nearest navigate feature built into the GNS 530 by Workingtitle. Now this is a really helpful feature if you're in a bit of a pinch and you need to get the plane down on the ground and you don't feel like playing the, oh that ocean looks pretty good over there, let's try that one. Let's get started. So first things first, to get this thing all set up, all we're going to do is we're going to come down to our GPS of choice. Again, both of these GPSs are going to operate very similar. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the big option, which is going to take us to page, and we're going to crank it until it says NRST. Now, the way this works is super duper simple. All you have to do is highlight the item that you're interested in and press the direct key. So I'm going to go ahead and press cursor real quick, and I'm going to use the big one to go ahead and pick what runway. Now, one of the things I really like is the fact they will let you know all the different approaches available at that airport just by looking at it real quick, and they'll also provide you with critical things like the length of the runway. Now, I'm looking at this runway right here, this 07 Lima. That's a 1,400-foot runway. Yeah, I can do it in a Cessna 172. I don't know that I'd be comfortable doing it in an Archer or something like that. But let's say I pick that runway. So I'm going to go over here and press the direct Q button. It's going to preload it into my select waypoint. I'm going to press enter. I'm going to go ahead and now make sure we're in navigation mode, which we are. I can shut off FPL mode. We're going to go ahead and go back a couple pages, and what you're going to notice, I want to go back a couple pages, is that it's automatically selected that airport, and the aircraft, since I was already on navigation hold mode, is now snapping itself around to go ahead and line itself up with that runway and take me down there immediately. Now, one of the things that I really love about this particular GPS combo is while I'm on course to figure that out, I can start working out other problems. Things like, what runway am I going to land on now that I'm heading to the correct airport here? So the reason this is so useful is now that we're on course, like I was mentioning a moment ago, is now I can come in here and I can actually change what page I'm on to study individual waypoint information. So let's say I go to the Hartford page here, but I want to go ahead and take a look at that. Let's see here, that's 07 Lima. Press cursor, I can just come up here and I can actually change what item that I'm actually looking at. So let's go ahead and take a look at that airport that I was just looking at a second ago. We're at 07 Lima there. 0, I've never actually landed there, so this will be an interesting experience for all of us. 07, we don't want 6. And we'll go over to Lima. This is a great thing if you have a co-pilot in the aircraft with you, like I usually do in the real world. They're usually going to be the ones cranking these knobs. All right, Agua, Massachusetts, good enough. So now that I'm done with that, I can get all sorts of information. I notice that the elevation is 48 feet, which gives me about 1,100-foot traffic pattern. I can come down here. We can see if there's any critical approaches. Let's see here. Go ahead now. We don't need to press cursor anymore. We can go ahead and dial that one in directly. Oop, go ahead and clear out. Looks good. I like that. Oop, gotta stop pressing press cursor here. Otherwise, what it's going to do is it's going to get ourselves in an infinite trap here. There we go. I just had to go to a different page and come back. Sweet. All right. So now if I go like this, I can see that the airport has a 5 west and a 2-3. Oh my gosh, it's a water surface. Ah. And that's one of the reasons why I love this tool so much is that, I can do these operations and look at this. Notice we have no frequencies available. Notice none of this other stuff is going to work for us at all. So unfortunately, this airport's no good, but that's all right because we can come right back over to here nearest, press that button, CT29, we press enter, Valley Farms. Actually, no Valley Farms. That's not too bad. Now that we have that all set up, we could go back over to that waypoint page. I'll go ahead and press cursor here. Waypoint. Now we know that we're going to CT29er. So if I come in here and dial in CT29er, I can go ahead and get all the critical information I need. That looks a lot better. That's a 1-8 and 3-6. We know the wind is basically going to be coming out of the south today, so 1-8 is going to be my choice. And we can see if there were any particular different options here as far as frequencies. You can see there are none for this particular airport because it's such a tiny runway. But all that information will be provided with us. And of course, at any point, we can come in here to push cursor. We could select individual approaches or anything along those lines. And we know we have plenty of runway available for that particular purpose. So now that that's been selected, I can just take a look here. I can see that it's just a little off my nose. Again, we're in emergency mode. So we'll go ahead and clean things up. We can see it's about 16.3 nautical miles. It's off at 12 o'clock, which puts it just a little bit. I think it's going to be right down in here. So the nearest function on that GPS is not limited to just emergencies when you're trying to find yourself a nice safe runway to plop yourself down on. It also gives you the ability to actually look things up like particular waypoints. Like let's say, for example, we wanted to be interested in Hartford VOR. Let's say that, they got some kind of a call for it and we needed to head there for some reason. So what I can do now is I can go back to the big pages, pop to the waypoint, and I can actually navigate to the VOR page. So this is intersection. I can go to NDB and I can go to VOR. By a bizarre coincidence, Hartford VOR is already selected. One of the things I really like about this GPS combo is if I go to push cursor and actually go down to where it would say 114.90 in the real one, what you could actually do is you could actually dial that in directly by highlighting it with your cursor and then pressing the enter key. So unfortunately for us, we don't have that luxury, which is kind of a bummer because it's kind of a nice feature to have in the real world. But we can go ahead and take this value and pump it right into here very, very quickly. To do that, of course, make sure you press CV, pick the correct value, flop it, and now we know we're all set. And you can see right here, Hartford VOR, this is our current radial, this is our current distance, and everything is already preloaded and ready to rock as far as that flight. Now, while we were doing that, of course, the aircraft continued flying towards our CT-29er, which was located right off our 12 o'clock, and we were able to safely effect landing on this airplane. So you can see that is another great feature that you will see in this particular GPS. Enjoy.